Great night for baseball here at Miller Park in Milwaukee. The Brew Crew back at home. In fact, it's going to be the final homestand of the 2013 season. The final 10 games here at Miller Park, and they welcome in the Cincinnati Reds, who are in a dogfight for another National League Central Division crown. Things have cooled off here at Miller Park. The roof is closed, and we welcome you to the broadcast here on Fox Sports Wisconsin. I'm Craig Kashan alongside Davey Nelson. And the Brewers in position right now, as they have been since mid-August, Davey, to play spoiler along the way. And they've got 3 teams on their schedule that keep popping up again tonight. Cincinnati, St. Louis, Pittsburgh. And for the most part, they've had pretty good success.
Well, they certainly have. And when you look at what they've done against those teams, boy, my goodness, 4-3 against Cincinnati, 3-3 against Pittsburgh, and look at 2-4 against St. Louis, and it could have been reversed with the little back-end help there. But, you know, they've risen to the occasion. A lot of teams could lay down. They're not doing that.
Yeah, the Brewers have won 9 of those meetings in 19 tries, so 9 times they have played spoiler against the top 3 teams in the division. All 3 teams appear at this point to be headed to the playoffs. 2 veterans ready to toe the rubber tonight. Who'll get the best of who between Latos and Loesch, Bien Rock? Tell you next as we get closer to first pitch on Fox Sports Wisconsin. Money and all your home improvement needs at Menards. By Miller Lite, it's not just a good time, it's Miller time. And by Toyota, let's go places. Back at beautiful Miller Park here tonight, the final homestand of the 2013 season, a marquee pitching matchup tonight. For more on that, let's welcome in our game announcers, Brian Anderson and Bill Schroeder.
All right, Craig, thanks a lot. There you see Kyle Loesch, the former Red, on his way in from the bullpen, getting ready for a start tonight. We welcome you from Miller Park, and This is an interesting series for the Brewers. It's a 3-game set with Cincinnati. It starts the final homestand of the season here at Miller Park. And the Reds are in the thick of a pennant race, and they are right now on the outside looking in as a wild card team. But certainly they are hoping to win a division. And if they make it into the postseason, their ace, their Game 1 starter is going to be Matt Latos, and he's on the mound tonight.
Yeah, he's been outstanding this year, amongst league leaders in wins and earned run average this year for Cincinnati. In his career against Milwaukee, there's good Latos and bad Latos. This year, not so good. 8 earned runs in 13 innings, but he's got a 1-1 record. He got beat 2-0 in August. And last year, 3 earned runs allowed is all in 25 innings of work. That was 3 starts. He's only got 1 win in that stretch, so kind of a hard luck guy, but he's been outstanding this year for Cincinnati. Kyle Loesch, one of the best in the business against the Cincinnati Reds. This year, 1-1 in 3 starts, a 2.29 earned run average. Look at the ERA since 2010, the lowest in all of baseball against Cincinnati at 1.92. He's got a 2-1 record in 8 starts in that stretch.
Well, the Brewers didn't want to be in this position, but this is basically their postseason right here and now. They'll match up against the contending Reds. The final homestand starts next. Lineups, first pitch coming your way. In Milwaukee, Wisconsin, but an otherwise beautiful day and now beautiful night in Brew City, and we're set for Game 1. The Brewers and the Cincinnati Reds. There is Dusty Baker. Took his Reds ball club to a division title last year. They're trying to make it back-to-back division wins, but right now they are trailing the Pirates and the St. Louis Cardinals. Here is Dusty Baker's Piggly Wiggly batting order. Shin Soo Choo will lead off, then Brandon Phillips, the All-Star. Joey Votto bats third. In the middle of the order, it's Jay Bruce, Ryan Ludwig, and Jack Hanahan, with Zach Cozart, Devin Mesoraco, and Matt Latos rounding it out. The starting 9 for the Reds against right-hander Kyle Loesch.
Yeah, good numbers for Kyle Loesch. 9-9 on the season, a 3.59 earned run average. Coming off a rough one in Chicago against the Cubs. His worst start of the year, 5 innings, 7 earned runs, and 11 base hits. Although he has been very good here at Miller Park. 6-3 this year in 14 starts. Let's check out the Menards Brewers defense for tonight. Ron Renneke posting lineup number 110 so far this year. A lot of guys in and out of the lineup. Young guys getting an opportunity. Sean Halton gets another start at first base after homering in St. Louis last night. And Jonathan Lucroy back behind home plate.
110 lineups, and this is game number 146. Been that kind of year for the Brewers. You see the four-man umpiring crew in place. Gary Cederstrom will call the balls and strikes. Angel Hernandez, Vic Carapazza, and Lance Barksdale on the bases. And all the pieces in place. We are ready for baseball tonight in Milwaukee. Beautiful Miller Park. And hard to believe we're going to close the doors up after this homestand concludes. 10-game homestand in all. It's going to be the Reds, the Cubs, and then the Cardinals. First pitch of the ball game is swung on, fouled away, and off we go from Miller Park tonight. Shin-Soo Choo, outstanding leadoff hitter of the Reds, came to Cincinnati in a trade with the Indians, part of a three-way trade. Choo is a free agent at season's end, but he's been everything the Reds have asked him in that leadoff spot. Been one of the best in the game. And if you measure a leadoff hitter by his on-base percentage, Shin-Soo Choo is at the top of his game. He is on base nearly 43% of the time.
Yeah, amazing. You know, between he and Joey Votto, those guys are on base all the time.
Choo leads all major league leadoff hitters in home runs and walks and on base percentage. They gave up a very talented defender in Drew Stubbs to Cleveland, but they got a big bat in Choo and a perfect leadoff guy. And that's really what's been missing with the Cincinnati Reds the last couple of years. They've tried a lot of different people in that leadoff spot,
including the on-deck hitter Brandon Phillips. Phillips has been bouncing around the batting order this year.
Hard hit ball, backhanded, and the throw to first in time. Now Scooter Gennett's defense continues to be a story for the Brewers, and he's making even the tough plays routine at this point.
And nice soft on the backhand, really loose with that baseball glove, and nice easy throw over to first base. He makes it look easy. Up the middle, behind first base in the hole. He's been very good defensively.
And that'll bring up Brandon Phillips. Phillips taken out of that cleanup spot, moved up in the order, now hitting second. And from the last time we saw the Reds, there's been a lot of discussion about Brandon Phillips and his on-base percentage and moving out of the cleanup spot. Of course, he got into an argument, a shouting match with a reporter about that fact.
It was actually one way. It was just Brandon Phillips.
That's a good point. Wasn't really much of a match, was it?
It wasn't a shouting match. It was just Brandon Phillips shouting at a reporter.
Well, his on-base percentage is .311, but that's just one part of his game that could be better. But when you look at the overall numbers and the overall picture of what Brandon Phillips does for the Cincinnati Reds, that is getting a little nitpicky.
Yeah, to say the least.
There's a base hit back up the middle. Phillips with 101 runs batted in, and he delivers with a one-out single here in the first inning.
Yeah, one of the few free swingers on this ball club, Brandon Phillips. This is a lineup up and down that very patient at the plate. They work the count. Phillips takes a fastball on the inner half and shoots it into center field. 101 RBIs and getting taken out of the cleanup spot. That's a tough league.
Well, I figure Phillips is, as Votto takes a strike, he's enough of a free swinger. He's a guy who will be aggressive at the plate. And if you're going to have a guy like that, you might as well put him in a spot where he's going to see a lot of strikes. And that would be the 2 spot in the batting order in front of Joey Votto. Dusty Baker's been using that spot for guys like Zach Cozart. He's had Todd Frazier in that spot on occasion. He's been using that like a lot of managers do in the National League, trying to jumpstart maybe a guy in the lineup that could use more strikes and more hitting counts.
And the thought is that, you know, teams aren't going to walk or pitch around a number 2 guy to get to Votto. That's a spot in the batting order where you want to be. You know, Votto, then Bruce, 2 very good run producing left-handed hitters.
Votto in a 1-2 count. Comes in batting .306 with 22 homers, 66 driven in. And a swing and a miss. Kyle Loesch punches him out. He got Votto to chase one for the second out of the inning.
And that's not something you see very often. I mean, Votto, very patient hitter, to say the least. I mean, he goes up there, he'll take pitches. Not afraid to hit with 2 strikes. Cut fastball that catches the outside part of the plate. Votto just waves at it. Good pitch. 1-2 count right on the corner.
So 2 gone. Phillips still at first, and here is Jay Bruce, who jumps into that cleanup position. Bruce is a home run away from 30. He's got a chance to drive in 100 again this year. He certainly fits that prototypical cleanup hitter role. A very streaky hitter who's had his best moments, it seems, against Milwaukee throughout his career.
And last time the Brewers were in Cincinnati, they caught Jay Bruce in a bit of a downturn. Actually did not start a game in that series. Brewers taking 2 out of 3 in Cincinnati.
And Bruce lifts that one in the air to left, playable. And Schaefer will haul it in for the final out of the first. Kyle Loesch's night is underway. We head to the bottom of the first. Brewers coming up. Central Division race and the final 3 games against the Cincinnati Reds this season. Piggly Wiggly batting order for Renicky. Aoki leads off, Segura, then Lucroy, and then the middle of the order is Ramirez, Gomez, and Scooter Gennett. Bottom 3, Sean Halton, Logan Schaefer, and Kyle Loesch rounding it out against the Cincinnati ace, Matt Latos.
And Latos has been outstanding this year. He's 5th in the league in wins with 14, 9th in earned run average at 3.04. He had a very good month of August in 5 starts, a 173 earned run average, and has been very good in 2 September starts. Career against Milwaukee, 2-3 in 7 starts. And take a look at the Menards Reds defense. They're 2nd in the National League in total defense. They've committed only 70 errors this year. Brandon Phillips, one of the best in the business at second base.
Now Nori Aoki digging in, ready to lead off. Latos back on the mound for Cincinnati. And Latos figures to be their ace, and they have him lined up to pitch in the wild card play-in game if the Reds should end up there, or pitch game 1 of the NLDS if they do win the division. And as the Reds are looking ahead and they're chasing the Pirates and the Cardinals, there is a team that is on their heels right now. The Washington Nationals, who have won 6 straight games and are 5 back of the Reds in the loss column. 5.5 in the overall wild card standings, and the Nationals are leading tonight 3-1 over the Phillies in the bottom of the 4th inning. So that is a red hot ball club that Dusty Baker's crew has a little bit of cushion against, but it's certainly a team to watch.
Now the Reds are certainly in control of their own destiny. They keep winning. It's going to be tough for the Nationals to catch them, but Washington has won 8 of the last 10. You mentioned 6 in a row, starting to put things together, maybe a little bit too late.
3 balls, no strikes to start it against Aoki. And there is ball 4. 4-pitch walk to start the ball game. Latos wants a new ball. And the Brewers with a base runner.
Latos has been a strike thrower all year. 51 walks in 191 innings. 8th in the league in that category. Certainly is going to have a 200+ inning season amongst all the other good things he's done.
Now Gene Segura back in the starting lineup. Got yesterday off. Just a maintenance day, Ron Renicky said, just to try to let Segura take not only a physical breather but a mental breather as well. Back in the starting lineup tonight at his customary shortstop position. He takes strike 1 from Latos. Segura's batting average at .298. He was up above 300 from the second at bat of the season in the first game until his last game played against St. Louis on Wednesday. Finally dropped under 300. Into right center, and Bruce is going to make the call in the catch. And one away for Latos in the bottom of the first.
And Latos not afraid to come inside. He was able to bust Segura in on the inside corner, got in on his hands. Latos very aggressive inside. He's hit 7 batters this year, so if he's going to pitch in, he's going to miss. He's going to miss in off the plate, not out over the plate. He's only allowed 12 home runs this year, which is fairly incredible when you consider he plays or pitches half of his games at Great American Ballpark.
And the Reds overall as a pitching staff, especially their starting rotation, has been very good when you factor in the ballpark effect. That's one of the reasons the Reds are again challenging for a division title. Lucroy with Aoki at first. There is strike 1 from Latos. Jonathan comes in with a batting average of .284. 17 home runs for Lucroy, has a career best in home runs and RBIs. Brewers are continuing this long stretch against Central Division opponents and will have 3 consecutive series against the NL Central. The last road trip of the year will take Milwaukee through Atlanta and then New York to play the Mets. And the way it's going right now, the Braves might have it all clenched up by the time the Brewers get to Atlanta. Their magic number, I believe, is down to 6.
Yeah, well, got 10 days and before the Brewers get to Atlanta, but yeah, we'll see. Brewers has some work to do here on this road, on this homestand. 2 contending teams that they're going to be dealing with.
Ramos Ramirez waiting on deck. Lucroy trying to get Aoki on the move in a hitter's count. Two and 1. 3 balls and a strike. They are underway in Pittsburgh. The Chicago Cubs had a 3-0 lead over the Pirates going into the bottom of the 4th. The Pirates have just put 3 on the board in the bottom of the 4th, so that game's all tied up. Cardinals will be hosting the Mariners, and they are underway scoreless in the bottom of the 1st inning.
Yeah, Cubs playing spoiler as well. They just took 2 out of 3 against the Reds.
Lucroy Out to left field, Ludwig, and he lost it in the right. And that ball's going to go to the wall. Aoki is on his way to third. And Jonathan Lucroy into second. Ludwig was right there and then lost the baseball, either in the ribbon board or in the lights, not sure which.
Well, we haven't seen that all that often this year, but that was apparently right in the ribbon board, and Ludwig trying to get an angle on it. He looks right up into that area where he lost it, came close. It's going to be a base hit for Jonathan Lucroy, as it should. And Aoki able to cruise into third base. We'll credit Lucroy with a double.
It's funny because today at Miller Park they unveiled the tinted windows. They're trying out some tint on the windows for those afternoon games. A couple of different variations. Obviously the sun has set, and that's not a factor, but it is interesting that you would lose a baseball in the outfield. Left field is a concern as well, as Ramirez is drilled. That got him on the left hand, it looks like. A dangerous spot to get hit.
And 93-mile-an-hour fastball, and we just got done talking about the fact that Leto is not afraid to hit a batter. His 8th hit batter this year, and this one not even close. Gets Ramirez right on the top of the hand.
Yeah, right on the wrist, forearm area. Athletic trainer Dave Yeager is taking Ramirez through some of the tests. It's been an injury-filled season for Ramirez. Twice he has been on the disabled list with a knee injury, the same knee.
And finally starting to swing the bat well, get some consistency, and what happens? You're going to get hit right on the top of the hand, right on the wrist, somewhere around there, and it doesn't look good for Remy. We'll see.
Ron Renicky out there with Dave Yeager to see if Ramirez can continue in this game. By the way, there's some of the tint that they're testing, and it's just an experimental phase right now, just to see what it looks like from the inside. They want to be able to keep as much ambient light in here as possible. But the setting sun, which is above the first base grandstand, does create a lot of tough shadows, and of course left field becomes a challenge. Looks like Ramirez is going to play.
Yeah, so what's worse, right? The sun coming in or the lights? Don't ask Ryan Ludwig right now.
All right, so bases loaded now with one away. And here is Gomez. A walk, a hit batter, and a double by Lucroy. Brewers have a chance to strike early tonight against Latos. In case you're wondering, Gomez has never hit a grand slam in the big leagues. The Brewers have 2 grand slams this season, and both of them have come off the bat of Uni Betancourt. Gomez's next home run will be his 20th of the year. Been stuck on 19 for a while. It's been a couple of weeks.
Yeah, 2 pretty good pitches to hit. First 2 pitches from Latos had pretty good hacks, but fouled him straight back.
Aoki drew a 4-pitch walk to start the inning. Lucroy had the double, lost in the lights by Ludwig. Ramirez hit by a pitch. And an 0-2 to Gomez. In the air to right, falling fast. That's down, a base hit. Aoki will score, and here comes Lucroy. And he will score. 2 runs in on a bleeder by Gomez.
Yeah, Gomez able to fist an 0-2 fastball. That was up and in, just dumps it out there just beyond the cut of the grass in right field. Not hit all that well, but 2 runs in. Pitch a little bit too good on an 0-2 count with the bases loaded. Gomez fists it over the head of Votto.
Votto and Ramirez getting tied up a little bit as Votto was going back for that ball. Very aggressive base running by Lucroy. Ed Cedar was waving him all the way. I think Lucroy was a little bit surprised.
Yeah,
he was being sent, but he saw the way Phillips went after that ball. I think Phillips had conceded the second run scoring. Although for a moment there it looked like they might have had a play on Lucroy at the plate.
Incidental contact. Normally the base runner has to get out of the way of the fielder when he's trying to field a baseball, but both of them ran into each other. So
a good no call as Gomez takes off.
So Carapazza, with the safe sign, meaning play on, boys. Here comes Lucroy. Look at Ed Cedar almost down to home plate, making sure that Lucroy is going to get a wide turn if he holds him up. And the Brewers with a 2-0 lead.
Yeah, good start. They got a break with a fly ball lost in the lights, and then a little flare by Gomez. And maybe the Brewers starting to catch a few breaks. We saw a few last night against the Cardinals. They will gladly take them. Scooter Gennett. What a great run he's on. Another jam shot. That is foul, out of play.
And Latos 91-93 with the fastball, but you can see he's not afraid to use that inside corner. He's been getting in on the hands of the Brewer hitters. Well, the Brewers have had a very fortunate inning so far.
You can tell in the body language of Latos. He's shaking his head. He's wondering how he's behind 2-0. He's hit a batter. He's walked a batter. Some frustration on his face as we play in this first inning. Gennett trying to extend a hitting streak to 7. Has the highest batting average since he was recalled from AAA. If the demarcation date is August 9th, no big leaguer has hit for a higher average than Scooter Gennett. 402 hitter since that time. There goes Gomez. Pitch out, and Gomez is in there easily. Carlos Gomez swipes second base, puts 2 in scoring position, and the 35th stolen base of the year for Gomez.
That's about as good as Mesoraco could do right there. Gomez with a terrific jump. Latos can take a little while to get rid of the baseball. And Gomez with the head down, looks in, knows where the baseball is, and no contest.
So second and third for Gennett. And the 1-2 is fouled away. Just got a piece of it. Gennett's already made a nice play at second base. Sean Halden waiting to hit next. And it got him. Latos rings the bell. Scooter Gennett strikes out looking.
And dropped the curveball on the first curveball he's thrown. He just drops it. And looked like it might have gone across home plate a little bit high. Foxtrax had it up in the zone.
A great illustration there of Mesoraco, how he catches that ball deep.
Mesoraco caught that baseball deep to let it get as low as he could on the catch, and he got the call from Gary Cederstrom. Not a very good call by the home plate umpire.
That's a catcher steal and a strike right there. Well done. Gennett is out. Halden is up. Big day yesterday. Sean Halden, he drove in 3 runs against the Cardinals with his second career home run in the big leagues. One of his home runs coming against the Reds. He hit that one against Mike Leake earlier this season, a couple of months ago. So I'm sure he comes to the ballpark today with some confidence. He's a big man, 6'4", 260. out of Fresno, California. Had a good road trip, 4 for 8.
Yeah, didn't even get all that home run last night. That's how strong he is. Able to muscle it out of here in St. Louis, I should say, and that was a big home run.
And a ball inside. 2-1 to count on Halton. Sean playing in his 30th game in the big leagues. Been plowing his way through the Brewers minor league system. Started in 09. This year in Nashville, Halton with 11 homers and 51 driven in 96 games. And Latos deals strike 2. Halton has certainly earned his way to the big leagues. He's made stops at every level.
Yeah.
In Helena, the Arizona Rookie League. Spent a half a summer in Wisconsin for the Timber Rattlers back in 2010. He's hit them all. Rookie ball, low A, high A, double A, triple A. And now the big leagues. That'll be very satisfying to make that trek.
Yep.
Two balls, 2 strikes. Runners at second and third. And Halton strikes out. Nasty slider from Latos. And the side is retired. Brewers get a couple on the board in the first inning. Carlos Gomez with a couple of RBIs. The Brewers got a huge break as Ludwig lost Lucroy's ball in the lights. And that's the flare that delivered the first 2 runs. Rocky is changing his lineup card here. Ramos Ramirez cannot go. It looked like he was trying to get on the field, at least after being hit by that pitch, was going to give it a shot, but he's headed back to the clubhouse. The Brewers are going to send Jeff Bianchi to third base, and this is why.
Yeah, Ramirez getting hit either right on the top of the hand or near the wrist. And it didn't look good. You know, athletic trainer Dan Wright was out there, spent a lot of time looking at that area, and Ramirez was able to run the bases, but not able to get out there defensively. So Brewers short-handed without Ramirez, who's been swinging the bat well, but Bianchi getting a chance. Made a start in last night's ball game.
Well, Bianchi took a lot of ground balls at third base before the game today. And first batter is Ryan Ludwig. Gomez on the run, can't get there. First ball swinging, Ludwig drops one into right center.
Well, here's our upcoming schedule. The season winding down. Let's check out this coming Sunday as the Brewers take on the Reds at 1:10 p.m. And all fans in attendance get a Ben Oglivie bobblehead, compliments of Waukesha Metal Products. Visit Brewers.com for tickets. Now, how cool is that graphic right there?
But the one right here?
No,
the one that comes out on the calendar?
You're trying to be a smart aleck today, aren't you?
I'm just wanting to clarify.
Yeah, the way it pops out of the calendar.
Oh, I see.
The schedule. Yeah,
that's nice. That is nice. Did you have that done?
You knew what I meant.
You called that in today? How do you think of this stuff?
Just comes to me.
Get on the morning call and Rock saying, you know, I would love for Ben Oglivie to come flying out of a pocket calendar. Can anybody make that happen? And they do it. Amazing truck.
They can do anything in the truck. Check it out. Now focus on the 15. Here it is.
Yeah.
There's his picture.
Oh,
and bang,
yeah,
there he is.
That's great.
That's nice. Well done.
That's next level.
It's amazing what they can do these days.
Good eye by you. He's the idea man. He's got a lot in store for you for the rest of the game, too. No balls, 2 strikes on Hanahan. And that one didn't miss by much. It's always great to get back to Miller Park and our fantastic crew here in Milwaukee.
Nice 10-game homestand coming up.
There's one of our best right there. Quality assurance control, those 2 guys. Just making sure everybody's having a good time. And that's the way you got to be. You got to be a little inconspicuous. You don't want to draw attention to yourself.
Right.
So,
kind of what we try and do up here until we come up with great graphics ideas and everything gets exposed.
See, he's texting some of his findings already for the first inning here at Miller Park. Yep. Work's done for the day. Shattered bat, and that's going to be over the head of a Yankee. A base hit for Hanahan. So a couple of flares have fallen. And now the Reds in business with 2 on and nobody out.
Trying to do the payback on the Brewers for a very opportunistic inning offensively. A couple of runs. There's that cut fastball, just eats Hanahan up and just out of the reach of Bianchi and into left field. And dumps one out there, and now first and second, nobody out.
That'll bring up Zach Cozart. Starting to swing the bat a little better for the Reds. His average is up to 254. Had a 15-game hitting streak snapped on Wednesday in the Reds' win against Chicago. Their lone win in that series. Reds had yesterday off. They beat the Brewers to Milwaukee by about 6 hours. That one is just foul. Close call down the line.
But it was a good plane ride from St. Louis last night after a good win for the Brewers against the Cardinals. Always makes the flight a little bit shorter.
Now knocked the Cardinals back into a first place tie with the Pirates. Two on, nobody out. Loesch is trying to get things turned around for the stretch run here. He's coming off one of his worst starts of the year. He gave up 7 earned runs in 5 innings against the Cubs at Wrigley. Took a loss against the Cubs. And now 9-9 coming into play.
And that on the heels of a very good start against the Angels. A no decision against the Angels. 1 run in 6 innings. But those 7 earned runs is season high for him last time out.
And Loesch had a 5 earned run game against the Pirates at the end of August. Two and 2 to Cozart. Takes ball 3. Outstanding defensive shortstop Cozart. Reds had hoped he'd hit a little more than he has this year, but His bat has woken up lately. Could be a key contributor for the Reds as they make this run. He does have 54 runs batted in. And he's had a double-digit homer year. He has 10 home runs this season. Compare that to Gene Segura. Segura, an all-star this year, much higher batting average, but Segura with 12 homers and 46 RBIs. And you figure these two are going to be a couple of the pillars of the National League Central at the shortstop position for a long time. There's a liner, and it's off the glove of Segura right to Jeanette.
Well, he had to play at second base, but Scooter didn't recognize that. Well, it would have been a nice play by Segura up the middle. Might have been able to turn a double play off his glove over to Jeanette. He had to play at second base. Check it out. Just kind of kicks it over toward Jeanette. Now a little shovel pass over to Gene. Actually, Segura wasn't even on the bag, was he? That was the only play they had at second base. They had it, but neither one of them knew it.
Now Loesch with the bases loaded. That'll be scored as an infield hit. Nobody out. There is a way out of this inning for Loesch, but this is a key batter. You got the pitcher due up next. Devin Mesoraco, the young catcher at the plate. None of the balls hit all that hard in this inning against Loesch. But they are loaded up. Brewers got 2 in the bottom of the first, and the Reds are threatening here in the second. Shattered bat right to Bianchi, goes to second for 1, and the throw to first is late.
He probably should have gone home with that. That's not a double play ball. Even the catcher Mesoraco able to beat that one. I think the play would have been home. Maybe home to first might have been the best chance for a double play. And check it out. Just eats him up inside. A one hopper to Bianchi. A good play on the short hop. I think Lucroy expected a play at home plate. Mesoraco able to beat it at first base.
Well, that'll be an RBI for Mesoraco, an earned run on Loesch's line. And the Reds are on the board. Runners at first and third with Latos coming up. Could be up there to bunt. We'll see. Latos has a little pop in his bat. He's not a bad hitter, actually. And he squares early and gets the bunt down. It's a good one. Nobody at second. Loesch's only play is first, and there is out number 2, and that'll be a sacrifice bunt. Two outs.
Yeah, Hanahan got a big break off of third base. He followed Bianchi as he snuck in there for the bunt, and had that bunt been a little bit different spot, he might have been able to try and score.
Well, Shin-Soo Choo now. This would be a small victory for Loesch if he can get through this second inning with just 1 run allowed. Reds had him loaded with nobody out. Now 2 gone for the Reds leadoff hitter, Choo. And Loesch drops a strike in there. Choo, Korean born. Had some great years with the Cleveland Indians. Started his big league career with the Mariners back in '05. Turned himself into a perennial 300 hitter in the big leagues while a member of the Indians.
Be a free agent at the end of the year. I would imagine with numbers that he's been putting up this year, he's going to get a nice payday in the offseason.
Well, he'll be 31 years of age next season. There's a swing and a miss. Lowe strikes him out. He went up the ladder. And about as good as you could hope for right there. Bases loaded, nobody out. The Reds get just one run.
In the center field. 2-1 Brewers as we head to the bottom of the second inning, and tonight's time of the game winner, Casper's in South Milwaukee. They call the Brewers in the next 24 hours. They get 40 Miller Lite beer pen tickets to a Brewers home game. This offer courtesy of the Tavern League of Wisconsin and Miller Lite.
Chowing down above the left field fence. It's one of the great spots to hang out at Miller Park, out there near the Friday's Front Row Grill. 2-1 Brewers lead the Reds as we go to the bottom of the second inning. Lato's back to work. Deals strike one to Logan Schaefer. Schaefer's been getting some playing time lately with the injury to Chris Davis. Been out with a wrist injury.
Yeah, Davis took a pretty good batting practice today. It looked like he was very close to 100%. So you figure he's going to be back in the lineup pretty soon.
Brennicky did say that he thought he'd be available to pinch hit today, and maybe in the lineup tomorrow. In the meantime, Schaefer, who has been dealing with his own injuries, and one of the reasons that he was knocked out of the starting lineup, a balky knee he's trying to play through. And for a guy like Schaefer, that's a big injury. He's a speed player. Hasn't been able to totally show off his defensive talents. Brewers have had him playing very deep in center field.
Yeah, you can't move around as well as you did early in the season. Gomez in the same boat. You push him back a little bit, play him deeper, and cut off the gaps that way. But find me a player that's played any amount of time this year still feeling 100%. It's kind of the way it goes.
And a swing and a miss. Latos has found his sharp breaking slider. Picks up another strikeout. He got Jeanette, Halton, and now Schaefer on that slider. 3 in a row for Latos.
Going straight down, and Logan Schaefer right over top. You're not going to get too many opportunities against Latos. The Brewers had great opportunity to put up a really big number in that first inning.
Well, here's Kyle Loesch, and he'll take a ball inside. Two pitchers that go about it in much different ways. Loesch and Latos, the Charter Cable high-speed velocity. Latos at 94 so far, and he's got a little more where that comes from. Loesch topping out at 91. Kyle with a batting average of 146. He has 7 hits this season, 7 for 48. He does have 3 runs batted in. Tyler Thornburg, the winning pitcher yesterday against the Cardinals, was praising Kyle Lohse and the leadership he's offered to this young pitching staff. Thornburg said Lohse has helped him a great deal. Command, game preparation, problem solving on the mound, and
trying to minimize damage out there. Thornburg's been outstanding. I mean, his starts this year has been great.
That's good to hear, isn't it? You get a young pitcher who's crediting a veteran pitcher. Lohse, he spends a lot of time between his starts. He works hard to help out his teammates, his fellow starting rotation mates.
And part of that is knowing when to loosen him up a little bit. He's got a good sense of humor, Lohse. Joke around down there, but when it's time to dial it up and the game starts, a little bit different situation. And he's been a good pickup both on and off the field this year.
Well, that's a good example, that shot we had of Hellwig and Thornburg, and there's a couple of guys who are between starts. Hellwig's going to get the call tomorrow, and they're back on the bench and taking that mental break. Now when Lohse is not starting, he's usually on the top rail. He pays close attention to the benefit of those young pitchers. Little chopper over to third base, and Hanahan will take care of Lohse for the out. 2 gone. Looking forward to Johnny Hellwig making his return to the Miller Park mound. Got a start and a win against the Chicago Cubs his last time out. Miller Lite, what's on tap tomorrow? Note the start time tomorrow, 12:05. And no television tomorrow for the Brewers, so you can catch that one on the Brewers radio network.
Yeah, 3 runs in 6 innings his last time out against Chicago at Wrigley. Looked like a much more confident pitcher out there on the mound than he did his first time up.
Aoki bunted right back to Latos. Easy out and a 1-2-3 inning. 2-1 Brew Crew. We're on our way to the 3rd. Cincinnati coming up.
Off their final homestand of the season. So Chief Operating Officer Rick Schlesinger kindly joins us one final time. And Rick, on Sunday, the 10th bobblehead will be given away. Who are the Brewers featuring on Sunday?
Ben Ogilvy, the great Brewer slugger from the great teams in the late 70s, early 80s, and one of my favorite players. 10th bobblehead of the year, and again, free to all fans in attendance for that game on Sunday.
Now, next Saturday for the Cardinals series, it will be Fan Appreciation Night. And what is the team doing to honor the fans from all season?
Well, we're going to have a lot of prizes, including the chance to win a Chevrolet Cruze. I won't be eligible, neither will you, but everybody else who's not an employee of the Brewers or the station. And a lot of prizes, autograph items, tickets. We'll have sort of a giveaway every inning, and culminating in the new car.
Brewers fans responded really well to the vouchers in August for the Fans First initiative, and you recently announced another one to wrap up the end of the season.
Right, our annual Brewers Fan Fest, which is Brewers on Deck in January, will be free admission to all fans. Usually it's somewhere between $9 and $20, depending on when you buy the ticket. It's free, so we're expecting a huge crowd, and again, a chance to meet players, get autographs, do instructionals, a chance to take photographs, see the players doing funny bits with some skits, and it's a great time. And it's a Sunday, 26th of January, and almost all the Brewers will be there, and including some young players and some minor leaguers and the Stars. So it's a really fun event, and it's free to fans.
All right, thanks, Rick, for your time. And BA and Rock, I know you guys already have Brewers on Deck circled on your calendar. Again, that's January 26th.
Better believe it. And hopefully Rick's going to give us a fitness instruction video. He was in St. Louis yesterday. He was working out. Yeah. He is yoked up. Rick Schlesinger.
Careful now.
He is ripped.
I know he works out well, but careful. You don't want to get too much.
I had no idea. You don't see Rick very often outside of a Navy blazer.
Maybe that's one of the instructionals he was talking about, right?
I was impressed. He's got to be the most in-shape COO in baseball. I'm going to put him out there. If they had a reality TV show, which we might do, I'm taking my chances with Rick Schlesinger. Got a whole new perspective of the boss.
I really have nothing to add. I wasn't there.
It doesn't take any analysis. I'm just sharing with you that not the kind of guy you'd want to run into in a dark alley.
All right.
Trust me. Ball and a strike on Joey Votto. And one gone here in the third inning. Phillips retired. Votto struck out his last time up. Loesch got him to chase one. Joey Votto is on the other end of the spectrum from Brandon Phillips. He's the guy in the lineup with the gaudy on-base percentage, the National League leader in that category, and he's led the league in that category the last 3 seasons as well. But his RBIs are down. 66 runs batted in.
Man, he's a guy that will take a lot of pitches throughout the game, but all of a sudden he'll jump up there, maybe third, fourth at bat, keep pointing the ball game, and he will go after the first pitch. And when he does, ordinarily he hits it pretty hard. You got to be careful just trying to get that first pitch strike on Votto, particularly as the game goes on.
If you want to get a good argument started between the old school guy who just pays attention to what he sees versus the new school stats, the metrics, all you got to do is bring up Votto versus Brandon Phillips. That'll create a doozy. Who's more productive? I think they work very well together. As Votto flies to left, Logan Schaefer, when it comes down, will make the catch. Out number 2. Kyle Loesch with a couple of Ks. Our head and shoulders whiff tonight. Loesch got Votto to chase one in the first inning. And then he struck out Shin-Soo Choo to end the second with runners at second and third.
And both of them on cut fastballs that he tried to catch the outside edge with. One down, one up in the zone.
There's Jay Bruce, and he lines one foul. Bruce a little bit tardy on the fastball.
It's kind of hard to kind of separate and compare Votto and Phillips because they rely a lot on each other for their numbers. When you talk about the RBIs, it's all about the on-base percentage for Votto. Votto scored 92 runs, and I would imagine a lot of that is because Brandon Phillips has been driving him in.
No question. And when Phillips was hitting cleanup, and those grind him out at bats every pitcher has against Joey Votto, and then Phillips is up there, pitcher wants to get ahead, Phillips has taken advantage. So you're right, I agree with you. Bruce is out. Kyle Loesch
Nice and tidy. 3 up, 3 down, third.
Veteran pitcher Matt Latos on the mound for the Reds tonight, and Ron Renneke said it's the depth of the starting rotations that puts team at the top of the division like the Reds. So on our AT&T Twitter poll, we're asking fans to weigh in on FS Wisconsin with who is the toughest veteran pitcher in the division. Matt Latos, his teammate Bronson Arroyo, who will face Giovanni Gallardo on Sunday, Edwin Jackson of the Cubs, Francisco Liriano, who they saw in Pittsburgh, and of course Adam Wainwright. So fans can tweet us at FS Wisconsin. And news on Aramis Ramirez, he is out with a bruised left wrist, and he will be day-to-day. BA?
All right, Sophia, thanks. Yeah, Ramirez hit by a Latos fastball in the first inning. And hopefully he'll be able to go tomorrow. Sometimes those can take a couple of days. Gene Segura leads off. Segura, Lucroy, and then Bianchi in for Ramirez. The three due up in this third inning against Latos, who retired the side in order in the second with a strikeout. Segura flew out to right in the first inning. Brewers got 2 in the first on a 2 RBI single by Carlos Gomez. Hit a little jam shot into short right field. There's a rocket to left. Base hit by Segura.
That just continues to try and pound that inside corner. And Latos coming in on Segura, and Segura waiting for it and able to pull the hands in. Watch the way he pulls the hands in and gets that barrel to bat out. Gets on top and a bullet into left. That's a nice swing, good balance, and a base hit. Let's see if Segura is going to be on the move here.
Well, Gomez has a stolen base tonight, his 35th. Segura sitting on 40. He's the National League leader in that category. And Lucroy is usually pretty good about giving him a chance to run. He'll take a few pitches normally. And it's paid off for Lucroy. He's had a lot of opportunities with Segura in scoring position because of it. A pitch out. Nothing on.
Man, Segura with 40 stolen bases. He's been caught 12 times, and a lot of those 12 caught stealings have come lately.
Segura, the first to steal 40 bases since 2004, when Pasednik stole 70. Yeah, it looked like he was going. Latos chases him back. Most steals in franchise history. Tommy Harper has the franchise record
That was in '69 when the franchise was the Seattle Pilots. Sednick with a 70 stolen base year in '04. Molitor stole 43 times, 41 3 times. In the air, left center. Chu with room. Segura's going to tag, and he'll hold up. Chu's got a very strong arm.
And Luke didn't miss that one by much. Just got underneath, had a good swing at it. And Latos has been elevating the fastball in this start. I mean, in the starts that he's made against the Brewers, and he's had some really good ones. Seems as though most of his pitches are down in the strike zone, but he's been up in the zone a little bit tonight. There you see it, pretty much center cut. And Lucroy with a very good swing right on the sweet spot, but just a little bit underneath. It's a nice swing.
Well, that base hit Segura had to left. That was a fastball at 91 miles an hour. So it looks like Latos is adding and subtracting a little bit to his fastball. I thought it might have been a changeup or a backup slider or something. But Latos, he's got enough arm to pitch in the mid-90s, but he has his cruising speed as well, and that's one of the reasons he's been able to be so effective. His best fastball tonight, 95.
I think the curveball that he got Jeanette was 76.
Traded from the Padres to the Reds prior to last season. Edinson Volquez was the other part of that deal. Volquez no longer with San Diego. Latos has emerged as an ace. .6'6", 250. Matt Latos, a Florida native from Coconut Creek, Florida,
and only 25 years old. Seems like Latos has been around a while.
Got his first taste of the postseason last year and had one great game, actually out of the bullpen. That was the day Cueto in game 1 of the NLDS was injured, had to come out. And then he made a start, gave up a grand slam to Buster Posey as the Giants were coming back to win that series after being down 2-0. So 2 postseason games for Latos last year. He gave up 6 earned runs in 8 in the 3rd innings. Things unraveled on the Reds last year against the Giants. Cueto was ready to start game 1 in San Francisco. He had to come out in the 1st inning. That sent Dusty Baker scrambling. The Reds were able to win the first 2 games of that series, but their rotation was in total disarray after that. And the Giants won the final 3. Segura takes off. Throw to second is low. And Segura's in there with a stolen base. Number 41 for the All-Star shortstop.
Well, a little bit of a late call down there at second base, but Segura looked like he stole it relatively easily. Looked like second base umpire looking to see if Segura is going to keep that hand on the bag as he slid by. And he did. Pretty good jump. Decent lead. Good jump. And relatively easy stolen base for Gene Segura.
To the back corner of the bag. And the Yankee center field. Segura will tag. And Chu will chase him back. Chu is a right fielder by trade, playing center, so he has a very good arm. Well, the sports show you've been waiting for is finally here. Introducing Crowd Goes Wild with Regis Philbin and a cast of former athletes and journalists. I think the journalists are current journalists. The athletes are former. Now they'll talk about things you won't hear on other shows, Rock. Sports talk just got a whole lot more colorful. Crowd Goes Wild weekdays, 5 p.m. Eastern, 4 Central on Fox Sports 1. former athletes, current journalist. Here's Gomez. And a little flare, and that is going to fall. A base hit. Segura scores. And Gomez dumps another one into the outfield and has driven in 3 runs. Responsible for them all tonight for the Brewers.
Not the hardest hit base hits for Carlos Gomez this year, but the fact is he's making contact. And look at a changeup that time, in on him, jammed him, but Gomez with the big swing able to muscle it out into short left field, and with 2 outs, Gene Segura running on contact, he scores easily. And the Brewers with their 2-run lead back.
The stolen base pays off for the Brewers. Gomez with 3 ribbies tonight gives him 60 for the year. He looks like he wants to run. And a pitch out. 3rd time the Reds have pitched out on the Brewers tonight. I'm sure Dusty Baker's a little more comfortable pitching out when you have a guy like Latos on the mound. With his power stuff. Jeanette pops it up. Hanahan is under it, and that will retire the side, but not before Carlos Gomez drives in Segura. Brewers using their legs tonight. And Gomez using the handle of his bat very well this evening. It is brought to you by Piggly Wiggly, the official supermarket of Fox Sports Wisconsin. By Ho-Chunk Gaming Wisconsin, your ticket to more. And by Marshfield Clinic, don't just live, shine. Friday night, Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and it's starting to feel like fall. Carlos Gomez has 3 runs batted in. The Brewers lead 3-1 as we head to the 4th. Ryan Ludwig leads off. He singled and scored in the 2nd inning. Loesch coming off a 3-up, 3-down frame. Loesch did a good job in the 2nd. Had bases loaded, nobody out, and gave up just 1. A former Cincinnati Red, Kyle Loesch. That was before he changed his game. Used to be a 4-seam fastball, curveball, slider pitcher. Tried to throw it as hard as he could. Had a lot of fly ball outs. And had a high ERA during those years. Went to St. Louis. Dave Duncan turned him into a sinker ball pitcher with a cut fastball. Still considered a fly ball pitcher, but a lot more ground outs, especially when you need them, when you have a man at first and you're looking for a double play.
And but lately he's been using that cut fastball quite a bit. A lot of pitches both in and out to left-handed batters.
There's a broken bat. Scooter Gennett on the slow roller. That almost stopped rolling before it got to Gennett. Out number 1. Well, it is a retro Friday here at Miller Park. Got the ball and glove logo, and the Brewers break out Bonnie Brewer to sweep off the bases, and Mark Berry's shoes and other things. And now you know why Bernie's jealous on Friday nights here.
A little smooch to the third base coach.
Bernie he's now in hiding. He was so distraught.
I think he's somewhere underneath the stadium having a chat with Bonnie.
Maybe it's the other way around. That's old school. That's the way they used to do it at County Stadium back in the day. Kind of wish they'd break out the bullpen cart every now and then. Still here, I see it every now and then back in Pat Rogo's storage area. Used to be a cart to drive in the relievers.
Yeah. Nobody used it, but you know, they spun around the warning track. Little advertising.
Right. Taxi's here. No one ever jumped in that cart, huh?
Yeah.
Was that available for the bullpen catcher?
No.
At any time?
Nothing was available for the bullpen catcher.
Including rations.
Phone rang. The bullpen catcher got up and took his place behind home plate in the bullpen.
There's a strike called as Loesch strikes out Hanahan. Out number 2. And we'll check in with Sophia.
Well, famed car customer Ryan Friedlinghaus and his crew at West Coast Customs continue to take common vehicles from ordinary to extraordinary in West Coast Customs. Each episode brings viewers inside one of the most dynamic car shops in the world. Don't miss a new episode this Sunday. And last night, Tyler Thornburg was the latest young Brewer starter to praise Kyle Loesch for how much he's helped him just with the mental and physical approach between starts. And he said, you know, last night was supposed to be Loesch's turn in the rotation, but with the 6-man turn, he said he wanted to play that spoiler for the Cardinals, Loesch's former team.
Now, Thornburg has been outstanding and just really one of the strangest seasons you could ever imagine for Tyler Thornburg. Cozart bounces to Segura. Loesch, the mentor. 3 up and 3 down, and he has retired 8 straight. recognized for winning the Wisconsin Little League Juniors District 6 Championship. They advanced to the state finals. They won the Wisconsin State Little League Juniors Championship for the first time in the history, which started in 1971 of the league. They went on to represent the state in the Little League Juniors Regional Finals in Indiana. Felix Mantilla earlier today took part in the presentation of Sean Halton. Singles to left to start the fourth inning.
Yeah, Felix, of course, a former Milwaukee Brave.
And you can't think about Felix Mantilla without remembering Johnny Logan. Those two were together so much. And the late Johnny Logan, who passed away earlier this year. Teammates with the Milwaukee Braves. Mantilla's career with Milwaukee in the late 50s. And it was good to see Felix at the ballpark earlier today.
And continues to live here in the Milwaukee area. See him around town from time to time.
Here's Logan Schaefer, a swing and a miss. Leadoff single by Halton. But Schaefer at the plate with Loesch on deck. Brewers lead 3-1. All of the runs driven in by Gomez on 2 flare singles. Drove in 2 in the first, added 1 in the third. That one in the third inning really burned up Latos. It came with 2 outs. Left one a little bit up in the zone. Gomez just able to dump it over the shortstop's head to drive in Segura, who had just stolen a base to get into scoring position. That's what the running game can do for you. That's how you use your legs to steal one, as Schaefer sends that one deep to right. Fair or foul? That is going to be a foul ball. Just got out ahead of it.
A slider that stayed up in the strike zone, and Logan nearly keeping that one fair down the right field line. Just hooked foul right at the end. Working up in the strike zone tonight is Matt Latos, something we don't see much of from him.
Shakes off the high fastball this time. Back to the slider, and the 1-2 is down and in. Latos looked like he found his slider. Had 3 straight strikeouts and retired 5 in a row, but it's been a pitch that has come and gone for him so far tonight. He's already given up 5 hits. This is a big one for the Reds. They all are the rest of the way. Cincinnati is currently in the 2nd wild card position. Pirates and the Cardinals are tied for the league lead. The Reds are 2.5 back. Pittsburgh has taken the lead over the Cubs 4-3. That game's in the 7th inning in Pittsburgh. St. Louis and the Mariners hooked up in a pitcher's duel tonight. Wainwright against Iwakuma. It is scoreless going into the 5th. Cardinals still cannot score runs early in games. That was the trend against the Brewers. That's where it stands right now. The wild card race. Either the Pirates or the Cardinals, if the season ended today, would win the division. And then it's up to the next 2 to be the wild card. The 2 wild card teams. And the Nationals are rolling. They've won 6 straight. Washington is leading Philadelphia 6-1 in the 7th. Little flare to left, and that's going to fall. How about that? Ryan Ludwig got a terrible jump.
He's having a rough time out there in left field tonight. No reason to be playing deep with Schaefer, the left-hander, up. He's going to hit one deep. It's probably going to be to right. There's a jam shot. Nobody in the ballpark thinks that's going to be a base hit. Up in the air an awfully long time. And look at the reaction of Matt Latos. He can't believe that fell. And I don't blame him.
Well, Ludwig has already lost a fly ball in the lights tonight. and unable to bring that one in. So that is a gift. That'll go as a base hit. Reds don't have any errors on the board tonight, but they've had a couple of miscues defensively. So Loesch a chance to bunt 2 runners over now. The 10 sacrifice bunts for Loesch is the most on the club. Fundamentally sound on both sides, and Loesch bunts out into third foul. That's where you want to put it, though.
And make the third baseman field the baseball. Nobody at third. You would figure the Matt Lato tough guy to bunt on. He kind of short arms the baseball and kind of gets on you quickly. Boy, and he has been pounding that inside corner all night.
Loesch able to get it down to third this time. A beauty. Only play is first base. Executed to perfection. Sacrifice bunt for Loesch. Second and third with 1 out.
Yeah, that's the way you help yourself without getting base hits right there. Rolling it right down that third base line. And that is textbook technique from Kyle Loesch.
The 11th sacrifice bunt. That's actually third in the National League.
And he gets the bat out in front. He keeps the barrel of the bat above the handle. There's no way you can pop it up when you do that. I mean, the key is to get that bat head out in front. When you get it back in your body, that's when you get the pop-ups. That's well done.
So that sets up the inning as we go back to the top of the order now. And Aoki, second and third, 1 out. Norrie walked and scored in the first. Tried to bunt his way on in the second inning and grounded out.
Yeah, Reds bringing the infield in. Yeah, 4th inning, down by 2. Opening up a lot of holes for Aoki.
Loesch with a 3-1 lead. Brewers trying to add to it. Bottom of the 4th from Miller Park. And Norrie fouls it away. He was late. Latos still up in the strike zone, but that fastball had a little more on it. Came in at 93 miles an hour.
Well, last night Aoki turned around a 98-mile-an-hour fastball from a left-hander out of that Cardinals bullpen. 93 is not too big a deal. It's been amazing how well he's done against lefties this year.
He's been the Brewers' best hitter against left-handed pitching, hitting near 350.
One of the best in all of baseball, and he's a left-handed batter. Hey, that kid came out of that bullpen last night. I mean, Segrist, he throws 98, 99 miles an hour. He turned it around in the gap in right center. Amazing.
That was jaw-dropping at bat. They were still talking about that at the cage today. Halton started the inning with a single. Schaefer had a single. He's at second now after Loesch bunted them both up. 2-1 to Aoki. And into center field, Chu coming in, and he makes the catch. And Halton is not going to be able to score. The throw to second.
They almost doubled him off.
Ooh, Schaefer just back in time. And a base running blunder by Halton.
Yeah, you got to tag up right away, because if it bounces, you're going to be able to score easily. He takes off right away. He only takes a couple of steps. Not sure why he froze. You get back right away, and you can probably score. That's a big mistake for the Brewers. Got to take advantage of these chances when Latos gives them to you. That's the only place, third base, you don't freeze on a line drive. You go right back.
Well, it gives Latos a little light at the end of the tunnel here. Segura will bat with 2 outs, 2 in scoring position. Latos back in the windup for Segura. Aoki thought he had a sac fly when it left the bat.
Yep, should have scored.
Well, those hurt too as a hitter, because not only do you lose an RBI, cost you an at-bat, fly ball out to center.
And more importantly, a run wasted.
No balls and a strike. Segura takes one in there. 0-2 the count. 96-mile-an-hour fastball that time. Segura sitting on 12 homers, the Powerball home run leaderboard, with Gomez sitting on 19 as the club leader. Segura's last home run July 30th. The 0-2 and a swing and a miss. Latos gets out of it. Brewers with a base running blunder, and Latos able to put up a 0 in the 4th.
As we head to the 5th and the final homestand continues with NL Central opponents, you can come on out. The Brewers will host the Cubs in a 4-game set Monday through Thursday. Tickets are still available, so you can visit Brewers.com. And after the Cubs, the St. Louis Cardinals will come to town. They will be here Friday, September 20th through Sunday, September 22nd. And Loesch providing the kind of outing Renicky wanted to see. He'd been hit hard in his last 2 outings, giving up 18 hits, 8 runs. Renicky said you can't consistently get away with that kind of stuff, but he said he wanted to see him get locked in the first inning and go 6 or 7.
Well, he's certainly on his way. He's been very good.
How about 9?
Yeah, that would be a good call as he retires the first hitter.
I think Ron Renicky, given his bullpen as much as they've worked, I think 8-9 innings would be nice tonight.
Loesch ran into some trouble in the second. 3 straight hits to start the inning. There was a flare in there and then an infield hit. And Loesch was pitching with the bases loaded and nobody out, but he only gave up 1.
Yeah, you would figure with the extra day's rest that these guys might be able to go a little bit higher with the pitch count. 6-man rotation.
Brewers have had a tough time getting to the late innings. You figure Kinsler is got to be unavailable today. We said that yesterday and he pitched, but that's back-to-back days. High stress innings. He did a good job last night, but the 6th and the 7th have been the challenge as Latos breaks his bat. Segura long throw and he gets Latos. 2 up, 2 down for Loesch, and he's retired 11 straight. Last night, Tyler Thornburg went 6. And Renicky took a shot. He's trying to find somebody to step up in those late inning roles, and it was Rob Wooten who got the Cardinals in the 7th, scoreless 7th inning. Kinsler in the 8th, and then Henderson saved it in the 9th inning. The Brewers salvaged the final game, and they made it a 3-3 road trip through Chicago and St. Louis.
They're playing some pretty good baseball away from Miller Park right now. Starting pitching's been good in the month of September. Whether you like it or not, a quality start, 3 runs or less in 6 or more innings. They've done that in 9 of 10 starts in September.
Thornburg had one last night and won his first career major league game as a starting pitcher. It was his 2nd win of the year, but the first time as a starter, and it was his first win as a starter all season after an 0-9 AAA record. He's found something in the big leagues, and it has served him well.
Yeah, Thornburg mixing his pitches. You know, last year he came up and he was just rearing back and firing fastballs in the upper 90s, and right now the curveball, the changeup's very good. Spotting his fastball better. And keeping the baseball in the ballpark. Remember how many home runs he gave up last year.
Thornburg part of the 6-man rotation currently. Chu takes a strike, and it's 3-2. Peralta had a good night against the Cardinals in St. Louis. Actually took a no-hitter into the 6th inning against the heavy-hitting Cardinals. Peralta, Estrada, Thornburg all pitched well in St. Louis. There's a called strike 3. Loesch comes all the way back. Down 3-0. He gets 3 consecutive called strikes, and he punches out Shin Soo Choo. Loesch has retired 12 straight. Our Ho Chunk Gaming text question of the night. Thane wants to know, do you think tattoos on pitchers on their throwing arms are distracting to hitters?
Well, it could be, but nobody's going to say anything. You know why? Because a lot of pitchers in baseball have tattoos on their arms, and if somebody complains, then how do you get rid of them? You make them wear sleeves, I guess, right? But I mean, it's just like, you know, some of those double dip lacquered bats and big outfield gloves. I mean, the manager's not going to go out there and complain about it because his own guys are doing it too.
You got 2 tattooed pitchers tonight.
There's the answer to the question. It may be, but nobody's going to complain. Umpires aren't going to just randomly go out there and say you got to cover up the tattoos. A manager has to complain about it. Complain about something that they deem to be distracting to their hitter.
Those are some pretty sweet tats, though. I got to be honest. If I was a tattoo guy, I might go for that look. And it seems like every time we see Latos, it's a little further down on the arm. You know, started on the bicep, moved to the elbow, now to the forearm.
You think all that stuff would fit on your arm?
No, no chance. No chance.
Mine either. That's a big man there. And a lot of tattoo, a lot of ink.
Yeah, you could do a whole segment on his tattoos. He would love to tell you about it, I'm sure. I wonder if he's got a tattoo of his cat, whom he has named Cat.
Yeah, Cat Latos, yeah.
Not Matt Latos, but Cat Latos.
That cat is a big, you know, who loves that cat is our producer, our pregame producer, Brad Weimer.
Right.
Talks about Cat Latos all the time. He's got a Twitter page or a Facebook page.
Cat Latos is very big on social media as Lucroy takes a strike. He's kind of like the alter ego of Matt Latos. There he is. There's Cat.
And Matt taking a nap and Cat just hanging out.
Lucroy draws the walk. Latos just hasn't been his dominant self tonight. Brewers had 3 runs on 6 hits. They really had a chance to add to it last inning, but didn't cash in. And you certainly need to against Latos. He can find it at any moment.
Yeah, he's been a little bit out of sync tonight, and he's given up 3 runs. It could have been a lot worse. I mean, he's been able to get himself out of a couple of jams in the first and the fourth.
He's walked 2. He's hit a batter. Actually hit Aramis Ramirez. He had to leave the game with a wrist injury. And then Jeb Bianchi took over for him at third base. Bianchi batting for the second time. Aramis back on the bench. He was hit on the left wrist.
Wrap it up to keep the swelling down. Probably had some ice on it for a while. The top of the hand near the wrist, it looks like.
And you get hit on the hand like that, your first instinct as a hitter is you're waiting for the pain, waiting for the worst case scenario.
There's so many little bones in that area that you risk breaking one, particularly when you have that bat wrapped tight. Your hands real tight around that bat, and that's when you get the breaks. But it doesn't appear that that's the issue for Ramirez.
Oh, and 2 on Bianchi. Leadoff runner Lucroy, and Bianchi takes one in the dirt. Good block by Mesoraco. Mesoraco and Ryan Hannigan sharing the catching duties. Mesoraco has actually been playing a little more than Hannigan lately. The better hitter of the two. Hannigan the better defender of the two. Bianchi off the end of the bat. Cozart right on the bag will turn it into a 6-3 double play. Smooth as it gets. Well, Carlos Gomez coming up. He's in our Jimmy John's freaky fast delivery. Gomez dumping a fastball into shallow right, driving in 2 runs in the first inning, and then used his legs, a stolen base, to put himself in scoring position. And then Gomez did it again. This was an RBI single in the third, and he is responsible for all 3 runs on the board for the Crew tonight. And a big curveball for a strike.
Yeah, best hook he's thrown.
The Chicago Cubs have regained the lead in Pittsburgh, by the way. Cubs now up 5-4. Top of the 8th inning. St. Louis trailing 1-0 to the Mariners in the 6th. Iwakuma is pitching a shutout. Cardinals got a huge break. The Mariners announced 2 days ago that Felix Hernandez will not pitch in that St. Louis series. They're going to bump him back because they don't want him to hit the Mariners in that interleague matchup.
Well, the thumb protector. That's that little thumb guard that a catcher has, and looks like it popped off. There it is. You see it?
That ball is driven to right. Bruce is there, though. And Gomez is out. Latos, a scoreless 5th. 3-1 Brewers. Bachelorette party. That's the way you do it. Good call. Got t-shirts made up and everything. Good luck at your wedding. Good crowd tonight here at Miller Park. The pushing a sellout this evening here on a Friday night. Lots of big groups are here and kicking off the final homestand of the year. Place looks great. Incredible fan base. One of the joys of coming to this stadium. Even in a down season, fans have been there the whole time, and it's been a tough year on the field with the record, 19 games under, but still great fan support. Players talk about it all the time. The energy in this building. Such a fun time here at Miller Park. As Phillips on the ground to Bianchi, and he makes a play. Brandon Phillips. 1 out of 3, and Kyle Loesch keeps it rolling here. He has not allowed a base hit since the 2nd inning.
And on Friday, September 20th, the first 20,000 fans 21 and older will get a Brewers grilling set courtesy of Potawatomi Bingo. To order tickets, call 414-902-4000 or visit brewers.com. I actually have that grilling set up here. I was given one. No, you can have the card. You can't have my grilling set. There it is. Nice. Right there.
How many did they bring up here?
1. Got to know people. I mean, I'm known around town as kind of a grilling kind of guy, so it's obvious that they know I want that. I would love to have this. They gave it to me. It says Brewers on it.
I was on the grill today. I certainly could have used something like that.
Putting out fires does not count. See, take it out.
So what's in there?
Very
You've got
nice. You got
the spatula.
You got the tongs, and you got the baster.
Ah, that's a nice set.
I've got a phone number for you.
Yeah, I'd like to have one. If you know, maybe if somebody's watching, I'd like to put one together for myself.
Yeah, this is nice.
Unless you're not going to use yours, and then
Friday the 20th, you can get one. That's against the Cardinals.
All right.
See a good ball game, and you get a grilling set.
I'm looking forward to that. That is a great gift. And Phantom Cam will be here.
See, now I took him out. I can't get him back in the box. Isn't that always the way it happens? I mean, they're perfectly packed in those boxes. I could not get him back in there. So that's it.
Votto in a 2-2 count. One gone for Loesch in the 6th inning. Votto is 0 for 2. And Loesch hits the back door. He strikes him out again. Boy, Kyle Loesch spot on with that cut fastball.
Man, it's been a good pitch for him. I mean, he has been able to use that pitch down and into left-handers. Able to backdoor it on the outside corner to the lefties and keeping it away from the right-handed batters. Check it out. Starts off the outside corner, catches the edge, and Votto knew it. Tremendous command for Kyle Loesch.
13 in a row retired. Gave up those 3 hits in a row in the 2nd, and none since, as Jay Bruce takes one away. Bruce is 0 for 2, a couple of fly ball outs to left. Sitting on 29 homers, 93 ribbies. And a spinner in there for a strike. Loesch has had great breaking stuff. When Loesch was pitching for the Reds, he never had an ERA under 4.5. All of 06, half a season in 07. There's a jam shot. Pop up to Bianchi. And Kyle Loesch has retired 14 straight. Picks up his 5th strikeout, 3-1 Crew. World famous racing sausages. Polish has that smile on. Got reason to smile tonight. Close finish. And I think the Polish took him.
A little bumping going on.
Yeah, swap and paid the sausages tonight.
Yeah.
Always a good time here at Miller Park. So if you had Polish tonight, you are the winner. Tell them what they've won, Ron.
I'm not sure. Grilling set. I don't think they'd like that
until
though,
next
would they?
weekend. Sausages are a little they're a little leery of the grilling set.
That's like giving a deer a bow and arrow, right?
Scooter Gennett to lead off. Kyle Lowe's pitching a gem against the Reds. Latos on the mound to start his 6th inning. Gennett, Halton, and Schaefer. Scooter is 0 for 2. Struck out looking in the first, and he popped up in the infield in the 3rd. And Latos has had him out in front of the breaking ball tonight and behind the fastball.
Yeah, some guys, you know, have a tough time picking the baseball up on Latos. Of course, that's been kind of the norm this year with the 14-5 record. He's very tough to hit when he keeps the baseball down. A little bit different when he gets it up in his zone like that.
There's a broken bat. Jay Bruce is over to make the play.
I don't think we've seen a pitcher all year against Milwaukee pound the inside corner as Latos has tonight. I don't think he's thrown a fastball away to any of the Brewers on purpose.
That'll be Sean Halton next, and this was last night. Powerball home run number 2 in the big leagues for Halton. A big power hitter in the minor leagues. Connects for his 2nd. And he drove in 3 runs last night. Brewers won the game. The finale against the Cardinals.
Made it 4-0 last night.
That was his best night in the big leagues. Halton had a single in the 4th. He swung at the first pitch, lined it into left. Halton playing in just his 30th game in the big leagues. And part of that first base rotation for Milwaukee. Making his 11th start of the season tonight. Latos has him down quickly, 0-2.
And Latos working very quickly. And getting it. And getting it back to Mesoraco.
Latos struck out Halton on a slider in about that same spot in the 1st inning. Latos wants a fastball, and Halton pulls it foul. Just looking at the signals by Mesoraco, isn't he close to showing those signals to the bench?
Yeah, big time.
I mean it's up above his thigh almost. There's a breaking ball that missed.
Making no effort to hide him at all. And that foul ball, you know, down the line. Check out the ball guy.
So it reminds me of the hot dog this season. The bouncing ball to 3rd, and Hanahan will take care of Halton for the 2nd out.
You're talking about effort?
I'm just saying that rubs off, you know. I blame the hot dog for that.
Yeah. He gets blamed for a lot.
And he deserves it. Lead by example. Here's Logan Schaefer. Schaefer singled his last time up. He's 1 for 2. 3-1 Brew Crew at the bottom of the 6th. Latos falling behind. It's 2-0. Logan almost hit one out. Just missed a homer. Pulling it foul last time up. And Latos back with that fastball boring in on the hitter. Just hit the 100 pitch total. Brewers have 6 hits. They've scored 3 runs. And a pop up in the shallow center. Cozart will make the catch. Latos a 1-2-3 6th inning. 6 in the books. Brewers up 3-1. Lottery reminding you to please play responsibly. And by Miller Lite. It's not just a good time, it's Miller time. It was a beautiful night in Milwaukee. Sun set. Roof closed up. A little bit cool tonight. Temperature's going to drop down into the mid-50s tonight, believe it or not. And fall is upon us. I think I saw some of the leaves on the trees changing colors.
No, not yet.
It's happening. 3-1, the Brewers lead the Reds. First game of this 3-game series. And Milwaukee trying to make things tough on their division rivals. Cincinnati starting the day 2.5 back of the Pirates and the Cardinals in the Central Division. Tell you what, there are a lot of Brewers fans in our nation's capital tonight. Washington has already beaten the Phillies 6-1. If the Brewers hang on to win, the Nationals would now be just 4.5 back and just 4 in the loss column to the Reds for that second wild card spot.
Yeah, they're right in the thick of it. Who would have thought?
Nats have won 7 consecutive games. Ludwig right to the Yankee for the first out. And Loesch keeps it rolling. That's 15 in a row retired.
And the Yankee came in replacing Ramirez, able to make that catch, goes down and makes sure he is able to grab it as it sinks as it gets to him. A sinking liner. Made a couple of nice plays over there at third base tonight.
Bianchi made a great play yesterday on a line drive from David Freese. That was a game changer, and I asked him about it at the cage today. His hand ahead. Oh, Sean Halton makes the stab. 2 line drive outs. Sean Halton pulls that one down for out number 2.
Yeah, good thing that he's about 6'4". Nice big wingspan and needed every inch. Gets that one right in the webbing. So Kyle Loesch pitching in a little bit of luck here in this inning. A couple of hard hit baseballs.
2 up and 2 down. And that'll bring up Zach Cozart. Cozart reached on an infield hit in the second, and that was the last hit for the Reds. Lazy fly ball, center field. Schaefer cuts across. loses his hat, makes a catch. And how about a 5-pitch inning for Kyle Loesch? 3 up, 3 down, 17 straight. He has retired. Stretch time at Miller Park. The Brewers lead by 2.
Has retired 18 straight Reds batters. Certainly a tough night for the Reds against him, and on our AT&T Twitter poll we were asking fans to weigh in on who they think is the toughest veteran pitcher in the National League Central. We left Loesch off the list, but he's certainly pitching like a tough veteran tonight. 43% of the vote went to Adam Wainwright. 16-9 for him so far this season, an ERA just over 3, 5 complete games. Never a fun night for the Brewers to face Wainwright. BA.
All right, thanks a lot, Sophia. Wainwright is on the mound tonight for the Cardinals, and the Mariners still have a lead against Wainwright in St. Louis. Iwakuma's pitching a gem tonight, Rock. 1-0 Mariners in the 7th.
And Brewers saw Iwakuma when they were in Seattle. Tough customer.
Iwakuma, an all-star this season for the Mariners. Cubs are going to the 9th with a 5-4 lead over the Pirates. Kyle Loesch cruising along here. He's retired 17 straight. And coming off a 5-pitch 7th inning, he'll bat to lead off. Just when Ron Renicky was begging for a deep start tonight, he gets one from Kyle Loesch. He has been fantastic this evening.
Yeah, get one more inning out of him and then go to Jim Henderson. That's what he needs tonight.
Activity in the Cincinnati bullpen. J.J. Hoover. Slow roller to third. Here is Hanahan. And Loesch is retired.
Now this will be Leto's last inning. He's due up second in the 8th. They figure Dusty Baker's going to go to a pinch hitter, get some offense. This is the kind of pitching we expected right out of the gates today. When you look at the pitching matchup, Loesch against Letos, you figure a very low scoring game, which it is, but both of them struggled somewhat in the first couple innings. But both have settled down nicely.
Against Loesch, 4 of the first 7 Reds batters reached base. He was able to pitch out of a jam, loading the bases with nobody out in the 2nd inning. He only gave up 1 run. And so far that's been it for Cincinnati. No hit since that 2nd inning. Reds got their run on a ground ball to third. The Yankee, instead of coming to the plate, tried to start a double play. They got just 1 in that inning. So conceivable that Loesch could have gotten through the inning without a run. He's been on his game tonight. the Reds' killer, at least since the 2010 season.
Right, that cut fastball has been a good pitch for him.
Nori Aoki is 0 for 2 with a walk tonight. He walked and scored in the first. He rips out to right. Bruce is back, and he's there for the out. We've seen a lot of flares fall for hits, and we've seen a lot of line drive outs.
We've seen a lot of fly balls that look like they're hit relatively deep, but kind of die out there into the outfield. Maybe that has a little bit to do with the conditions. It's cooling off. Okay, a little bit out in front and keeps it in the ballpark.
Game time temperature tonight 57 degrees. Cooled off a little off of that as well as Dusty Baker goes to the mound. Got Segura coming up with 2 outs, and not sure what that visit's all about.
Well, you know, Lato's no way he's coming out of that ball game. 111 pitches though, and you got to figure the Cincinnati Reds have got to keep one eye at least on the postseason. You don't want to wear him out too much in the start tonight, but they've got to get there first.
That might have been one of those visits where Dusty Baker said, I'm gonna let him talk his way into this game. There's a bunt. Hanahan bare hands, and Segura safe. Bunt single by Gene Segura. The major league leader in infield hits adds one more to it.
Well, ordinarily you don't want to be trying to bunt for a base hit with 2 outs and nobody on, but when you can run and steal bases like Segura, not a bad play. Bunt your way on and steal second base.
Thought Hanahan did a good job there. He did all he could, but Segura just flying down the line, able to beat it out.
That sniffing base hit, and how many times has he done that this year?
Nobody's been better. Now Lucroy is up. See if he gives Segura a chance to run. And there he goes. High and tight. Throw to second is not in time. Segura's in there.
Lucroy has every right to that batter's box, and that's why the safe call was made by Gary Cederstrom. And Dusty Baker is going to wonder why the contact between his catcher and Lucroy is not going to be called interference. Mesoraco actually just leaned right into Jonathan Lucroy in the batter's box. Check out Luke. Tried to get out of the way. Look where Mesoraco is. I mean, Lucroy's nowhere near, getting over the plate or out of the batter's box. Lucroy is just trying to get out of the way, and there's nothing he can do about that contact. That was all created by the catcher.
I don't blame him. Tough guy to throw out. Might as well see if you can steal it out.
Right.
Have some contact. Fall to the ground. The worst thing you can do as a catcher is to try to avoid contact. You'll never get a call that way.
Then you have a guy like Segura, you might make the contact on purpose and maybe you get lucky. But that was a good no call by Cederstrom behind home plate.
Well, and just as you said, Segura bunts for a hit, steals second base. It's just like a double. And now he's in scoring position for Lucroy. Brewers would love to add to their lead. It's 3-1. Bottom of the 7th inning. And Latos deals a strike. Got to figure this is Latos' last hitter, regardless.
Pitch count getting up near 120. He's at 115 right now.
Lucroy at the plate tonight, presented by Wendy's. Reds are pretty protective of Latos. Most pitches he's thrown in a game, 111 prior to tonight, so this is uncharted territory for him. Left-hander Zach Duke, longtime Pirate, joins J.J. Hoover.
Just in case Ron Renneke goes to the bench and wants a left-handed hitter.
2-2 to Lucroy. Latos 2 starts ago against St. Louis went the distance. A 9-inning 2-run game. It took him just 100 pitches to get through 9 innings. Went 7 in his last start against the Dodgers. He pitched well. 7 innings 3 runs. Reds won that game in 10 innings. No decision for Latos. The 14 wins for Latos, a career high. Latos 9th in the league in earned run average coming in. Just 3 wins off the major league lead of 17. Jordan Zimmerman of the Nationals. And Lucroy draws the walk.
And Latos wanted that one too. Boy, Dusty Baker is in a tough spot. He's got to go to the bullpen at this point. I mean, you can't allow Latos to get that pitch count up too high. It's already in a danger zone at 118. So he's going to make a double switch.
Most pitches he's thrown all year, and he will exit with no chance to win this game. One of those nights for Latos. So a pitching change, double switch coming up for the Reds. We'll lay it all out for you when we come back. Thirds, allowing 7 hits and 3 runs at this point. Brewers have 2 on with 2 out. Dusty Baker tried to let it ride, but the pitch count comes into play here. And now it's J.J. Hoover on the pitch for Cincinnati.
Yeah, Hoover's been pretty good out of that bullpen. Made 6 consecutive scoreless appearances. That covers 5 innings. 62nd appearance overall, 283 earned run average. More strikeouts than innings pitched, but he has given up 6 home runs this year.
There's Todd Frazier. Comes in on the double switch. Frazier will hit second in the 8th inning, next inning. So that's the move. The Brewers are threatening with 2 outs. Segura bunted for a single to keep the inning alive. He stole second. His 42nd stolen base of the year, and Lucroy drew the walk. So Jeff Bianchi will get a chance to play run producer here. 3-1 Crew, bottom of the 7th. And J.J. Hoover out of the Cincinnati bullpen.
A decent fastball, big overhand curveball, takes a lot off the curve. Really effective in these situations with inherited runners.
Bianchi is hitting .325 with runners in scoring position this year. Significantly higher than his overall batting average, which is a .249.
You figure Hoover's got to come in with a fastball right now.
Bianchi in the driver's seat, 2-0, and he takes a fastball high and away. 3 balls, no strikes. The game in Pittsburgh has gone final. Cubs win. They come back to beat the Pirates 5-4. Carlos Villanueva got the win. Cubs came back against Jason Grilli tonight. Here's a 3-0, and that's outside. Ball 4. Bases loaded for the Brew Crew. All of this with 2 outs. A bunt single, and then back-to-back walks.
And you just never know. It's going to jump start or get a rally started. A bunt and a stolen base, a couple of walks, and now you've got Gomez up with an opportunity to tack on some more here.
Well, Carlos Gomez, a first pitch swinger, and he was among league leaders in that category. 52% of the time he's hacking away first pitch, and he's had great success on the first pitch. .388 average, 7 of his 19 home runs. And on the first pitch into center field, Chu is going to watch it bounce. Segura scores. Now Chu drops the ball. In the scores Luca, and Gomez into second.
Well, why in the world did you hold back on that? I mean, there's a spot where you got to dive and maybe catch on that baseball. It looked like if he kept going, he would have been able to catch it. Well, he just stopped. Well, not a very good play. I tell you, the Reds pitching staff has not gotten a whole lot of help from the outfielders tonight. Check this out. He just flat stops playing on a hop. When that ball hits the ground, 2 runs easy are going to score. And Gomez able to get into second base. Well, Carlos Gomez has driven in every single run tonight. 5 RBIs for Gogo. And the Brewers with a couple of big insurance runs.
5-1 Brewers, and another pitching change for Dusty Baker. As we play in the bottom of the 7th inning and doing significant damage with 2 outs here. 2 hits, 2 walks, 2 runs are in. Both of those runs belong to Latos, who gives up 5 tonight. Some very shoddy outfield play by the Reds here tonight. Carlos Gomez, what a night. 3 hits, 5 runs batted in.
And nothing really hit all that hard. The hardest ball he's hit tonight has been an out to right field. He stole a base. He drove in a run in the 3rd inning. And then the big base hit with 2 outs. All started with 2 outs, nobody on. Zeke Segura, a bunt single, steals second, a couple of walks. And not sure why Chu lets that one bounce, because if it bounces, it's minimum 2 runs. Our Marshfield Clinic shining moment of the game, the night for Carlos Gomez tonight.
It's a career high in runs batted in for Gomez with 5. And 2nd and 3rd with Jeanette coming up. 5-1 Brewers. Zach Duke on the mound for Cincinnati. Former starter with the Pirates. 2 on, 2 out now, and Jeanette takes a strike. Well, those Gomez RBIs to extend the lead are Badger Mutual insurance run of the game.
Well, it looked like Brandon Phillips very upset that Chu allowed that ball to bounce. He was noticeably upset. I don't blame him. I don't understand why he let that bounce, because that's 2 runs. I mean, let it bounce. I mean, try to dive for it. What do you have to lose, right?
Sharply hit to Cozart, and he'll take care of Jeanette to end the inning. But a good one for the Brewers. A 2-out rally, and they score twice. Gomez having a career night, and the Brewers up 5-1. Game tonight. He has given up just 1 earned run through 7 innings, and he has 5 strikeouts. He has retired 18 consecutive Reds. Carlos Gomez, a career night, 5 runs batted in on 3 hits. He is responsible for all of the Brewers' tallies tonight. And the Brewers with a 5-1 lead going to the 8th, and now we'll see if Loesch, who has a pitch count of 84, can finish this one off here tonight. First ball swinging, Mesoraco pulls it foul. Reds have not had a base runner since the 2nd. Their last hit was Zach Cozart, who reached on an infield single in the 2nd inning. Little jam shot. Jeanette is out, and Gomez is in for out number 1. 19 in a row as we send it down to Sophia.
Well, BA fans can head to foxsportswisconsin.com. Check out what's going on there. Some stories for you. How will the Packers defend against Robert Griffin III on Sunday? There's also a profile of the newest Bucks forward, Caron Butler, coming back to his home state. And you can also join the live Wisconsin and Arizona State live blog Saturday night. And just a reminder for fans that our game tomorrow will not be televised. So just another reason to come on out to Miller Park.
Rock and I will be here. We'll be calling the game. It just won't be broadcast anywhere. So we'll be sitting here practicing. You can catch it on the Brewers Radio Network. Bob Uecker, Joe Block.
I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm being honest. I don't think I'm going to be here tomorrow. I'm going to catch it on the radio.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, got some yard work to do.
I see.
Long road trip, you know, you get back.
Spend a Saturday afternoon listening to the radio. That's not a bad option.
Right. I don't think that would go over well at home if I, on an off day, to head over to Miller Park and catch a game. I don't know about your house.
No, I'll keep a scorebook for you, and I'll get you caught up.
Okay.
No problem.
Fair enough.
Todd Frazier batting for the first time. And he pops it up. Loesch has had him off balance all night. Segura squeezes it. And there is out number 2. "89 pitches for Loesch. And he has now retired 20 straight. I changed him one because of the Mesoraco fielder's choice that produced the only run of the game, but that still was an out for Loesch, so that counts. And it's 20 straight retired for Loesch since the second inning. Here is Shin-Soo Choo with 2 away.
And gets his third out relatively quickly. I think that Ron Renneke might consider allowing him to go out in the 9th. He's only at 91 pitches right now.
Brewers so far this season have 2 complete games, and Willie Peralta has them both. Loesch's last complete game came in April of 11, 2 years ago, that World Series year for the Cardinals. Had a 2-hit shutout against Washington on April 21st, 2011. 2-1 to Choo. Rob Wooten loosening just in case. In the air to center field, well hit. Gomez turns, and Gomez makes a catch. 3 up, 3 down, and that kind of night for Kyle Loesch. 21 straight retired, 5-1 Brewers.
Five to 1 Milwaukee leads going to the bottom of the 8th. A gem by Kyle Loesch. We're getting set for Brewers Live postgame coming up, and that's our hot topic. A great bounce back effort so far.
Boy, it certainly is a great bounce back. Kyle Loesch has got a great feel right now, spotting his fastball. His cutter's been outstanding, and his command has been great.
Certainly has that command, and not too many opportunities to block the plate, so we're going to show it to you coming up on Brewers Live Instructional with Augie and Marcus Handel. That's our big topic tonight. during our Brewers Live postgame instructional. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Milwaukee Brewers Baseball Club and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Milwaukee Brewers. Again, Brewers Live postgame coming up after the ball game, Ryan.
All right, Craig and Davey, thanks. And you can see Loesch, he's got the towel wrapped up. He is poised to go back out for the ninth to try to finish this one. Logan Ondrusek, the new hurler, and the Brewers coming up here in the 8th inning. 5-1. The Brewers have the lead over Cincinnati.
And no activity in that Brewers bullpen, which leads you to believe that Loesch might go out for the ninth.
Halton, a little dribbler to third, and that's going to work for Sean Halton. Frazier tried to barehand it. Didn't have to make the play. No, I think he had time, right?
Yeah, didn't have to barehand it. He could have had it in the glove, and Halton got a very late break out of the box. He tried to check his swing, and look how long it takes him to get going. Frazier coming in, if he gets it in the glove, and I think he's got the out, it's going to be a base hit.
And Halton with a 2-hit game after a 3 RBI game yesterday, hitting his way into the starting lineup once again. Here's Schaefer now. Brewers scored 2 in the first, added 1 in the third, 2 more in the 7th inning. And all of the runs driven in by Carlos Gomez tonight.
9 hits for Milwaukee. I'm trying to remember the hardest hit baseballs for the hits. I know Segura had a line drive into left. Halton hit one hard to left.
There have been a lot more line drive outs. Hitters will tell you they all even out. The line drive outs versus the flare hits. But the flare hits tonight for the Brewers have been in big spots, and they've produced a lot of runs. I'm sure Matt Latos is looking at his night tonight, wondering how in the world he gave up 5 earned runs in this game.
Yeah, well, flare hits and poor outfield defense.
If the Reds do have a weakness, it is their outfield defense in center and in left field. Bruce is an excellent defender in right. And while Chu has a good arm and he's pretty comfortable in his home ballpark, you can tell this is the first time he's played center field in a long time. He's a right fielder by trade. And he's not quite comfortable out there, it doesn't look like, especially when he goes on the road. Schaefer pulls that one foul.
And plays very deep for a center fielder and doesn't really get all that great of a jump coming in. When you play deep like he does, you better be fairly quick on coming in and taking away base hits in front of you.
2-2 to Schaefer.
It doesn't look like he's very deep on that shot, but he is very deep.
Little cue shot foul. Count will remain at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Now Schaefer tonight single to left in the 4th. And I wonder if he broke his bat.
They got it right down on the end and probably split it up at the top.
You can't change bats in the middle of an at-bat unless it's broken. So once you show the umpire that you have reason to make the change. It's one of the new speed-up rules, actually. It started last year where the bat boy, you always have to make available 2 bats And the bad boy, whoever's batting at that time, will have that second bat ready. Used to be players would go back and they'd get the new bat and they'd take the time. They'd
look at 3 or 4 up and see which one they wanted.
Not anymore. You have to have 2 gamers ready to go. And for the most part, players abide by that rule. Schaefer draws a walk. Well, a good start to the inning for the Brewers. 2 on with nobody out.
Kyle Loesch with an opportunity to bunt.
Loesch has already dropped a sacrifice bunt tonight. And he'll get a chance to do it again. Keeping an eye on that St. Louis-Seattle game. The Cardinals have tied it. Mariners had a 1-0 lead and a box double play. Wainwright's still in there, by the way. 8 innings and a 1-1 game. Pirates have lost. Cubs beat them 5-4. Late comeback for Chicago. Central Division race that is going to come right down to the end, you would figure. Washington won as well. The Nationals could get to within 4 in the loss column if the Brewers hang on to beat the Reds tonight. Washington beat the Phillies 6-1. They've won 7 straight. The Cardinals game is going to the 9th now, with the Mariners coming up tied at 1. Loesch pops up the bunt and Frazier makes the catch. Lays out for it for a good measure.
And barrel the bat drop. You see where he made contact back in his body a little bit. Yeah, the bunt that he had his last time up had that bat head out in front. And Todd Frazier with a nice leap. Able to grab it. 2-hands it.
Probably about mid-flight he wondered to himself, why am I diving for this ball? But he made the catch. So Loesch is retired. There is the first out. And to the top of the order in Aoki. He takes ball 1. See the box score tonight. Aoki is hitless, as is Bianchi, Jeanette. But the Brewers with 5 runs on 9 hits and the 3-hit 5 RBI game from Carlos Gomez. Logan Ondrusek with 2 on. A big breaking ball in there for a strike.
And Brewers 3 for 8 with runners in scoring position tonight. Looking to add on to that. Never have enough against the Reds. They can put runs together in a hurry.
Got some scores in the American League. Red Sox beat the Yankees 8-4 tonight. The Oakland A's are leading the Rangers 9-2. Oakland is on a tear right now, scoring a bunch of runs on this road trip. Aoki a bouncer to second. Phillips to Cozart. And the Reds turn a double play. That will retire the side. And there is the story. Kyle Loesch back out to try to finish this one. Well, it's been a good night for the Brewers tonight in front of a crowd of nearly 40,000 at Miller Park. Kyle Loesch back out for the ninth and a chance to complete this game. 5-1. The Brewers lead the Reds. And Loesch is going to have to go through the heart of this order. Brandon Phillips, Joey Votto, and Jay Bruce if he's going to go the distance. 8 innings, 5 strikeouts. Loesch has retired 21 consecutive Reds batters. Has not had a base runner to deal with since the 2nd inning. Last hit was Zach Cozart, who had the 3rd consecutive hit in the 2nd inning. Loesch gave up a run in the 2nd. And that's been it tonight. Center field for Gomez. 1 gone.
It's been amazing to watch Kyle Loesch with that cut fastball. The fastball he's been locating extremely well, mixing his pitches up. The Brewers have been able to get him enough runs, allow him to cruise a little bit. Had a 2-run first inning. They had a 3-1 lead, then a 5-1 lead. And when you have runs to work with, I think you're a little bit more willing to throw pitches for strikes, work ahead in the count. You don't feel as though one swing of the bat's going to cost you a game.
Here's Joey Votto, takes a strike. Loesch has carved up Votto tonight. He struck him out twice. Got him looking his last time up. He's 0 for 3. More off speed than fastballs tonight for Loesch, but you count the cut fastball as an off speed pitch, and that's been his bread and butter tonight.
Yeah.
Votto rolls over 1. Scooter Gennett, and out number 2, and Kyle Loesch just making it look easy against one of the better offenses in the big leagues.
Well, since 2010, nobody has been better against the Reds than Loesch.
His last complete game in the major leagues was as a member of the Cardinals. He did it against Washington April 21st of 2011. And he has 1 out away. It would be 88 starts between complete games for Loesch. He just threw his 100th pitch. That's how efficient he has been. Jay Bruce at the plate. Bruce tonight is 0 for 3. Takes 27 outs to get through a 9-inning game. If Loesch retires Bruce, it'll be 24 in a row to finish the night.
That's something, isn't it? A very good hitting ball club.
First 7 hitters the Reds sent to the plate tonight. There were 4 hits and a run scored. 4 for 7. And nothing since. 2 balls and a strike on Bruce. And it goes to 3-1. Loesch has 5 Ks, has not walked a batter tonight. Full count. That's a pitch that has been there for him all night, whether it's been to strike out hitters or get him back in counts. The most reliable cut fastball he's had all year. Why wouldn't you go back to it? Here comes another one, 3-2. And Bruce takes ball 4. Yikes. Wow. Didn't miss by much. That snaps the string of 23 in a row retired. The first walk issued by Loesch. Just missed.
I tell you, how do you take that? I guess you have to, because you're not going to do much with it. Well, Cederstrom not giving him the call.
So here is Ludwig now. Got to be careful on that first pitch to Ludwig. He's always up there to hack. And he takes a strike. Great ball. It's the first time Loesch has pitched in the stretch in over 2 hours. One and two. Again, the Reds down to their last strike. On a night when the Brewers desperately in need of a night off for their bullpen, Loesch is a strike away from giving them just that. Only guy that has thrown in the bullpen has been Wooten. Now Henderson, just in case. The 1-2, Bruce takes off, and Ludwig takes a ball. No stolen base for Bruce. Defensive indifference.
This is where that 6-man rotation, that extra day off, is helping Loesch right now at 110 pitches. You can go a little bit longer when you have that extra day.
2-2. Loesch trying to finish it off right here. And Ludwig off the end of the bat. Bianchi cuts across, and the throw is good, and that is the ball game, and that was a gem from Kyle Loesch. A complete game. His 9th career finisher. His first since April of 2011. 9 innings, 4 hits, just 1 run allowed. Had a walk and 5 strikeouts. Loesch goes the distance. Carlos Gomez drives in a career-high 5 runs tonight, and just a beautiful ball game for the Brewers in all facets here this evening.
Now you talk about leadership and what does the leader give to you and what does he provide for your ball club. And on a night when Ron Renicky needed a long start, his bullpen has been spent. Brandon Kinsler probably not available. Kyle Loesch pitches a gem and pitches a complete game against the Cincinnati Reds.
Well, back to double-digit wins for Loesch. He won 16 last year. That was his 10th of the season. And Loesch outduels Matt Latos tonight as we send it down to Sophia with Kyle Loesch.
Well, thank you, B.A. Kyle, congratulations. Your 9th career complete game, your first since 2011. 3 straight hits to lead off the 2nd inning, but you come back to retire 23 straight. What was the difference?
I felt like that inning, I still was making my pitches. They were just finding holes and kind of bleeding things in. I just had to stick to the approach, keep making pitches, and that's what I did.
How did the cut fastball play into your approach to keep the lineup off balance?
Well, we were moving around pretty good. With this lineup, you got to make them feel a little presence inside. I don't throw as hard as some of the other guys, so just got to run balls in there, keep them from diving out, and Luke did a great job of calling pitches.
You've been hit hard your last 2 outings, so how satisfying was it to get this kind of bounce-back start?
It was good. After that 2nd inning, it started to feel like it was going that way again. I just had to stay focused and keep mixing it up. Defense played great behind me, too. They made a lot of great plays, so that helped out a lot.
All right, thanks, Kyle, for the time. And B.A. command exceptional for Kyle tonight. 5 strikeouts and not a single walk. He goes a complete game.
Yeah, it was the best of the year. He goes 88 games, 88 starts between complete games in the big leagues. Congratulations to Kyle Loesch. We'll hear more from the Brewers as they beat the Reds tonight, 5-1. Stay right there.